Alright guys, welcome back to another cast. We're looking for a name for the series where we do analytical and educational casts from top level games that happen, on the rank ladder. Here we've got Leary versus Bruh. Leary playing in green as the Malians, and his opponent is Bruh playing in purple as the Aztecs. We're going to speed up here just to get to live. Looks like we're already there. Fantastic. Cool. So we'll think about the Civ matchup first, but let's take a look at the maps actually even before that. So it looks like Bruh's got some back berries, woodlines at the back, which is pretty standard, gold off to the side, not too bad, stone as well right behind that, and his main stone and secondary gold is closer to the front. Front is very open for him, which is typical for the new Arabia, so definitely unfortunate there. Looks like he's got a decent map. Leary, on the other hand, back wood is looking decent, berries off to the right hand side, gold at the back on a hill is not bad. And left side gold is looking decent with some nice walls. And we've got a big donation from Miklo.
Hope you're not down to bad about RBWV. I usually watch your YouTube and don't come on Twitch much, but wanted to show support.
Man, Miklo, thank you so much for the $50, man. That means a lot. And really appreciate you coming over from YouTube to show support. Am I down bad? Not really, man. I was disappointed with the result. Obviously not what I wanted. It sucks to get reverse sweeped. Probably one of the worst ways to go out in the quarters, but I'm all good, and I was good like an hour after the situation happened, and I was able to enjoy the rest of the trip, which was fantastic. So, definitely doing fine, man, but I do appreciate the love and support from you guys here on Twitch as I come back. All right, so it looks like here Leary going for 4 on wood. Pretty typical from Leary to actually go for 4. This time we could be expecting Drush, Men at Arms from Malians. There's quite a few options you can be going for, taking the front boar. And looks like Bruh did lure at least 1 deer from what we can see here. No, it looks like 2 because he had 3 total. Bringing in now the first boar himself, and he's got 4 on wood, so looking like maybe Men at Arms from him as well. Knight's Call with $5 as well. Thank you very much.
If Vinchester got the Hazard Tech when playing Poles, would he have won that match in RBW5?
Ooh, against Veliz, eh? Oh, I don't remember, man. I felt like Veliz would always win. Berbers should always win the late game there with Camel Archers, so I don't think he would win even if he gets the Hussar Tech. Yeah. Can't wait for the series of casting Hera. Glad you're anticipating it. I'm glad you're going to enjoy it. I like it because, the reason, and I can just talk about this here. By the way, I do need a title for this kind of series. You can think of one on YouTube and think of one here as well. The reason I'm doing this casting is A, because it helps me as a player to watch what other players are doing, analyze games, etc. will help me develop better skills in game, and B, it gives me a chance to rest my wrist as well, which has been giving me a hard time with the longer streams. So I'll be mixing mostly playing still, but some days of casting throughout the week, and I have 1 video or 2 videos a week of casting games on the YouTube channel. All right, second board coming in from Leary, who is now doing a barracks on the front as the Malians, and Malians were recently changed. They lost their gold mining upgrades for free, but they have their gold lasting 30% longer, so potential for a good mid to late game with Malians there on the gold front. And then what does Leary see now scouting wise? So Leary, we can take a look here. He's seen the gold, he's about to see the berries, and we'll keep an eye on what he has to do based on what he spots. Looks like a Bruh barracks now as well coming down. And Bruh did learn 2 deer, so his scouting is slightly worse, as you can tell by the score. But he should have a better food economy here. Yeah, it looks like Leary did miss the barracks as well. Alright, Militia coming out now from Leary. So he's going to be going for a Drush. And looks like Bruh wants to go for Men at Arms. The difference between these 2 strategies, by the way, they open very similar way with a barracks and the same kind of opening build. But the Drush comes out in Dark Age. The Militia come out in Dark Age for a Drush. And for Men at Arms, you click up first, then you start making the units only after that once you get the food in. And so it's a pretty big difference there. And we're going to see how this plays out when both these strategies face each other. And there's a few ways that it can develop. Walling now the left side is Bruh. He'll keep that one safe and just focus now on the front where his gold is as the main defense. This is kind of wall towards the TC. Leary walled a little bit on the right hand side, but nothing too crazy so far. And he's going to be focusing on going up to Feudal Age very soon. So he's going to be doing Drush into Fast Feudal, and we're seeing Men at Arms from Bruh coming out. Alright, looks like Brock goes for the quick walls. This is exactly how you should react when you see a drush. Walling your resources is by far the best way to deal with it if fully walling is not an option. So he's going to wall in his resources, even gets the berries here. And I see the tier 1 coming in from Miklo, probably the same guy who donated $50. Thank you very much. And Omer Black Smoke right after that with 6 months tier 1. Thank you guys for the support as well. Alright, walling in the berries. Ooh, and Bruh's going to go for a counterattack.
Good to see you back, man.
Very nice. So he's going to go for a counterattack here. And the idea behind this is that the men-at-arms should be able to do a higher impact damage than the drush in his base, which he already kind of walled out. So there's no point of defending if you're Bruh's situation. That's why going for a counterattack is 100% the correct choice, although it could make for a very intense and messy game. Archer range behind this one, so we're going to see some archers as a quick follow-up. Livy will most likely follow up with a range as well, but he's 30 seconds yet, or still in Dark Age before he can access Feudal Age. And Bruh's going to decide to go all the way around the gold with his men-at-arms, which I'm not quite sure if Leary even knows exists at this point. It's very possible that Leary has no idea that men-at-arms are coming towards him. And it looks like it's just going to be the range now at home for Bruh. Yep, Leary's going to get caught off guard. Bruh right at the back there. Leary gets 2 ranges on the front, but his wood economy is compromised here. To start things off, goes to the quick walls behind it. 1 villager for sure will go down. Yeah, very nice. And now, we're going to see Bruh just make their way straight over to the next wood line and the berries. And Leary's going to rely on some quick wall here. It's the only defense to this kind of situation. And at the high level, you expect them to be able to do this kind of things, which he does in nice fashion. But Bruh is still getting some good idle time, so definitely good value from his units nonetheless. Did kill 1 villager. And now we're seeing Bruh using his archers to clean up the drush from Leary. So quick wall to keep the drush out, archers to clean it up without taking any damage. And that's pretty much a great method on how to clear this kind of early game infantry action. Leary running a scout under the TC. I'm not really sure what that was about, but that's interesting. Bruh still idling villas back here. When the archers come, you should probably run with the men-at-arms because you want to try to conserve them as much as possible. There's no point in just losing them to archers here. So we're going to probably see him run here. I would be very surprised if he tried to stay or fight. Yeah, he's just going to go for, the run around. Because this does 2 things. You either force Leary to chase you, which wastes the time from the archers, or you might be able to get away and then use the men-at-arms later in combination with the archers who are making their way forward. So in either case here, if Leary decides to chase or not, this is still going to be a great situation for Bruh as he comes forward with another set of 3 archers here. No blacksmith yet for Leary. We see no fletching. Bruh still no fletching as well, but does he have a blacksmith? Looks like he doesn't either here. So we'll keep an eye on that. And yeah, it looks like Bruh did lose 2 men-at-arms there. I really think he should have continued running around. I felt like there was a kind of a lapse in judgment to try to fight there. Had he continued running around, he might have found some damage with the archers. But at this point, Bruh will go back. Leary's up 1 villager, despite having lost 1. And I think that's because Bruh did Town Watch, but I'm not 100% sure. We can take a look at that, in fact. Yeah, it looks like he did. Yeah, he 100% did Town Watch there. So that's why Leary's up 1 vill. Probably some idle TC time as well. Yeah, there it is in the bottom right. That's why I love Capture Age. Gives us all these nice stats to think about. Son a lot. Thanks for the tier 1 for 3 months. Really appreciate it. Who is Bruh? Bruh is a 2K2, 2K3, even up to 2K4 Brazilian player these days. Not quite broken that top 16 yet, but he's been around for a while, and he is definitely in the top, let's say, 50 players, and a very strong opponent who already took a game off Leary today. Alright, so now we're seeing Bruh go for the a bit more walls. If there's one thing you can consider from how he set up his base, is that he's kept his archers on the side where his gold is and where he's exposed, and walled the other side of the map. So there's no reason for him to have armies chilling here, or anywhere else. You just chill on the side where you haven't quite walled yet. And you obviously have to keep tabs on the back of your base, because there could be some sneaks around. But Bruh did a good job of securing his base and not letting Leary get in and find any damage. However, Leary's not interested in finding damage. He's going to be going for crossbows back home. And there's a few ways this game can transition. Leary can add stables, Leary can play crossbows and castle only and just try to boom. And Bruck could go for an eagle transition. He only has one range, so he can go for 1, 2, 3 barrack transition and go for eagles. He's sending a villager forward now, which is weird. Not sure about that. Either this is like some massive sneakville, or it's a misclick. And it's hard to say exactly which is which right now. Oh, sorry about that. Leary gets in a deer. He's going to be up to castle age very soon. And I think he's going to idle after this villager to try to click up here. Yeah, broad researching fletching but not using the archers. That's a very good point. That's a pretty big mistake. Or at least one could say it's a mistake. But I would say it's more of a precaution than a mistake. Because he wasn't fully walled, he almost had to research fletching just in case Leary came forward, right? It looks stupid now because he didn't use those archers, but he could have easily used those archers and we would not have known. I still feel like the sound is a little low. Let's try to play around with the sound a little bit. I think like selection volume could be a little higher, villager volume a little higher, and combat volume a little higher. That should be decent. Yeah, all right. You just get a little bit more background noise in there. Yeah, looks like it was just a misclick. The Vil goes back, and Bro gets up to castle age. He's 30 seconds behind Leary, and Leary's investing into fletching now. I'm not sure what Bro's going for. Like I said, he has a few options. He can go ego transition, he can go stick on the range, he can add a second range, he can go skirms, he can go crossbows. In fact, it feels like he doesn't know what to do even. Yeah, he's making some skirmishes now, so maybe he's sticking with the one range skirms, now adding a second barracks, so maybe elite skirmisher into eagles could be the option here. I just don't want him to get stuck between you know, two strategies, which is one is eagles and one is skirmishers and range units. So I think as long as he does, ooh, great micro there from Bro. As long as he does commit to one of these two units going forward, I think he'll be okay. Good micro from Leary as well to try to climb to the top of the hill. Gets one or two good picks there, and Bro will simply run away now. Yep. Alright, Castle Age is in now, crossbow Bodkin, all the good stuff. And he's going to be making his way across the map. Now, Bro, in my opinion, like he's kind of doing a huge mistake here. He's committing to some eagles and committing to some skirmishers. And it's like a middle of both things, and it's coming at the wrong time. So what he needs to do now is sacrifice his army to stall and wait for that tower to go up. That tower position was really bad as well. It needed to be further back. This could cost him the game here as Leary kills two villagers and he's going to force Bro off the gold. Bro deletes the tower, can easily make a tower back here. I'm not sure why he made it so far forward to begin, and he just might be forced off gold. This could be GG, and I think we just saw a top player not committing to a strategy and borderline panicking, which it will cost him the game. Drops a TC now because he can't, you know, a tower is not going to do much. Elite Scrim is out, but that's not a powerful unit here. Doesn't have the armor upgrade on it, doesn't have the mass.
On your RBW5 success.
Yeah.
You'll get him next time.
And all of a sudden, the few eagles he made are useless. The skirmishers aren't enough mass to defend this. He's lost plenty of vills, forced into a TC. The 3 barracks are not really contributing, and he's lost so much momentum, so many vills, and it's looking like Leary's game. Leary is up on 2 TCs and continuing to produce crossbow. No ballistics or anything like that so far. But that was actually a very, very bad situation. And if there's one thing that we can learn from Bro, is just not to get caught doing both strategies. If you want to go for all in eagles, that's fine. Make a tower on the goal to keep that safe. You had pretty good walls on the left-hand side. And then really commit to 3-4 barracks eagles. If you want to open skirms, leave the eagle transition for later. And commit to one range skirms. Don't stop producing them on the way up. And get +2 armor in good time. But doing a mix of both, which is what he tried to do, ended up being the absolute worst situation or worst decision and cost him quite a lot, as we can see here, as both guys would just micro some nice fights here. Would a defensive Mango have been better? I think a Mangonel in theory sounds nice against crossbows, but Leary's attack came in before Bro was Castle Age, so a Mangonel really would not have helped too much. He would probably still get forced off the gold. So I'm not really a fan of a Mangonel. I think Skirmishers was a good choice. I just think that he should not have committed to 3 Barracks Eagles while doing scrims. You know what I mean? And I think if you go for Eagles, you don't really need to go for scrims. You go for an earlier tower. So like both strategies could have been good. He went for half of each, and that's bad. Leary going with the forward siege workshop. I have to be a little bit critical of this. I don't think it's the best choice right now. Just because I feel like he's already so far ahead. I feel like I'd rather see just, I don't know, a stable at home and let him go for some knights. But I feel like it should probably work out just because of how far he is ahead. The only thing is now it gives Bra a chance to come back in the game, because if Bra pulls out a really good defense, this forward siege can end up being a pretty big investment and not a lot of payback. So we'll see. It really just depends on how Bra does on defense here. Okay, Magnus there, Bra sees it. He can imagine it's a forward siege. He probably needs the defensive siege of his own. Usually there's a rule. Your enemy goes forward siege, you go defensive siege. Your opponent goes forward castle, you go defensive castle. These powerful forward options, and there's the siege workshop. Usually the best reply is doing the same option but just defensively. And then in the case of the forward castle, you'd obviously try to go faster and trap it down. In this case, you probably just try to get some Mangonels. And like I said, I feel like if Leary killed his own unit. I feel like if Brad does a good, good job microing and keeping a tight defense, which is not easy to do, but if he does do it, it could be a good way for him to come back in the game. Because Leary, he added now 30C, but just recently, his forward siege delayed a lot of other things that he could have been doing. So we'll see. Is this a good matchup for Malians? It's definitely decent. This matchup can go either way, but I definitely prefer Aztecs in the matchup. Aztecs are slightly more powerful and probably easy to play. Easy to play, I'm not sure about that actually. Ooh, 3 skirms gone, and just like that, the forward siege is already paying off. And like I said, it was a chance for Leary to throw some advantage back Bra's way, but Bra did not get the right micro fights. Leary put the pressure, and looks like it's a good advantage. Trades going back with a Magno. Leary needs to watch out here. Yep, goes back. Great choice for the defensive workshop. I think what Bra needs to do now is not do any more skirmishers and just transition into one monastery. And I'll tell you why. Leary's natural choice, and I'm not looking for it, is to go for stable behind this, because he sees Magno defense, he sees skirm defense. Stable would counter both these options. Let's see if he has a stable or not. We'll look for it. Looks like it's not coming up yet, but I think that's the next transition for Leary.
The jet lag isn't hitting too hard.
Based on that reasoning, and we see a nice attack ground there from Leary. Counter from Bra, takes it. Wow, great job microing there on defense. Based on that reasoning, Bra should also go for a monastery to prepare for the knights that will come out. The issue for him is that he's lacking a lot of gold. Other option, if you don't want to go monastery because there's no gold, other option is to mine stone and go for a castle, keep the defense tight. We see a TC now coming down on the gold on the front. And yet another trade, and Leary, the forward workshop, threw the advantage. Threw advantage.
For the games.
And this is what I was scared of for Leary. He was already so far ahead. If he had done a stable from home just to keep the control of the game, don't let the scrimmage move forward, and just boom it up, he'd be in a great position. But going forward, the siege workshop potentially cost him a good amount of Castle Age momentum, which is a bit counterintuitive because you think the forward siege workshop gives more momentum, but it also makes the investment into it a lot higher. Good trade there for Leary though. Go kill a Magna for not free, but most of the HP on that one. And Bro wants to get it, but he's got skirms, 7 in range, 2 HP, 3 HP, 2, 1, and looks like he will get it. And Bro has a chance back in the game now. 15 more builds for Leary still, and we're going to see a big transition, not into cavalry, but into champions, and Leary is up to Imperial Age. And like I said, he was very far up, ahead into the game. Siege Workshop did throw some advantage back, was not enough. He had way more resources, and he kept Bra, investing into the Castle Age. And Leary, all he wanted to do was buy time to get to Imperial Age with a great economy, and he's easily going to be able to do that now with 5 barracks champion transition coming in. And I will say Champion's a really good choice if you're up with a faster imp in this matchup. It's better than Cavalier, because Cavalier could potentially die to monks and pikes, whereas Champions don't die to any of those options and only die to like Jaguar Warriors, which is like, or like, Aztec Champions, which is like really hard to get to. So A great choice there. They don't even have the crossbows because of the extra pierce armor that Valiance gets. Yeah, the champ scarls. Silly Baby, thanks to the 4 months. Talent but no farm, thanks to the 9 months. Choco Mallow, thanks to the tier 1 for 7 months. And we'll do a quick recap because I think this game had a lot of good decision making made from both sides, and the game developed in a very interesting way as well. Ooh, little Magno Micro. Ah, you hate to see it there for Bruh, but he'll trade it back as well. And yeah, well, Eagle Warrior Tech coming in, already countered. It's already countered by the men at arms that are already here. I will say it's not a good decision from Leary to show the longswords now or the men at arms now. This is actually not a good decision. Will it matter? No. He's going to win regardless. But generally speaking, you should hide your transition as much as possible unless you have something good to get out of it. But all this is doing is giving a chance for Bruh to react in time. However, as I said, Bruh was so far behind that he was not able to react anyways. GG, well played there to Leary taking the game. Alright, let's just go back here and think about what happened early Castle Age. Bruh could have easily committed to either skirm defense on one range, continue making it, it would have had an extra 5 skirmishers, give up the gold a little bit, back off that gold, let Leary come into his base, and then just simply defend his next line of defense here with the skirms, defend the wood line, push back Leary, and then make a couple extra TCs and boom from there. That was option number 1. Option number 2 is to make a tower early on the gold, go 3-4 barracks eagles, don't make any skirms because you're not planning to upgrade them, and go for all-in eagles in the Castle Age while keeping your gold safe for the tower. That was strategy number 2 in Castle Age. He did a mix of both, and it cost him the game. After that, Leary did a nice little push with the Siege Workshop. Like I said, it was kind of unnecessary, but it was just a way to keep Bruh busy, keep him investing into Castle Age, and then Leary just on the way up to Imp, and we'll close out the game with champions very easily there.